is urgent and distressing.
This is a very, very bad scenario for us here.
Hurricane Harvey intensifying rapidly, expected to slam into Texas as a Category 3.
We haven't had a major hurricane, a Category 3 or higher, hit the U.S. in 12 years. So a lot of folks that have never maybe lived across the coast and have never lived through a hurricane really are in for something. And the legacy of this storm is not only the fact that we're going to have a strong hurricane, but the flooding concerns well into next week.
We are going to, in the strongest possible terms, encourage the residents in the low-lying areas, as they say, get out of Dodge.
And according to the National Weather Service, the city is now facing an unprecedented flood event.
Tonight, with the water still rising and people still trapped, Houston, one of America's largest cities, is crying out for help, issuing a nationwide SOS.
These massive city dump trucks served as rescue vehicles, delivering people plucked from flooded homes and roadways.
And how did they get you onto these trucks?
Ladders.
With ladders.
And we held on for dear life.
And you held on for dear, and they drove you through the floodwaters here.
Yes, right, exactly.
How did y'all hear about Danbury?
But we also found out because of the Adams, who took their family to Texas and knew some friends in Chicago. These friends in Chicago had helped Pastor Dave and Jill with worship and other things before they moved to Texas. Through them, we found out that their town hadn't been visited by FEMA or Red Cross. They hadn't gotten any help yet, and we wanted to show up.
A major part of the preparation for our trip was collecting donations, both supplies and monetary. We placed donation boxes around Oregon along with a list of acceptable donations. The majority of our supply donations included work gloves, N95 masks, garbage bags, and other supplies used in the cleanup efforts. We also managed to raise approximately $1,700 in monetary and gift card donations. While our donation collection was not overly successful at first, through the power of social media, we were able to acquire a large quantity of donations in a matter of just a few days leading up to our departure. We also provided transportation for the fundraiser put on by Reagan Middle School in Dixon, which included food, water, clothes, and school supplies. Without the contributions of so many generous donors, our trip would not have been made possible.
This is a trailer house on the Chocolate Bayou. The owner asked us to come in and clean up all the debris around the outside of his house that had been brought in by the floodwaters and remove any appliances and anything else that had been damaged by the flooding on the inside of his house. We also had to move 2 sets of steps back up to the doors to his house, as well as a bridge that led to those. The owner of this house had some health issues that prevented him from doing most of this work himself. So seeing how blessed and thankful he was by something so simple was very impactful for all of us.
One of the houses we worked on was right in the city limits of Danbury, and it was owned by an elderly couple. It only had 4 inches of water in it, so 2 feet of sheetrock was taken off in the entire house. The carpet had already been removed, so we worked in there with a crew of another 4 or 5 people, so there was about 8 total, and in about 2 hours we had all the sheetrock taken off. Appliances moved out. Most of the appliances were still okay, so they just needed to be moved out of the way so we could clean underneath them. And this house was kind of neat because big crew rolled in, got it done fast, and it was neat to be involved in that. Got a chance to talk to the owners and interact with them a little bit, and we also got to pray with the owners, and they were very grateful for everything we did.
This is Gary's house, off the Chocolate Bayou, near Danbury, Texas. When the storm surge hit, water levels reached 12 to 16 feet, taking his tri-level house all the way through the 2nd floor. Our mission was to take out all parts and pieces that had been ruined by the flood, and to try and make it as ready as possible for new construction.
Give me your heart, give me your song, sing it with all your might. Come to the fountain and you can be satisfied. There is a peace, there is a love, you can get lost inside. Come to the fountain and let me hear you testify. Into the wild canyons of you. Oh, there's a world to fall into. Weightless will dance like kids on the moon. Oh, I will give myself to you as soon as you start to let go. Give me your heart, give me your song, sing it with all your might. Come to the fountain and you can be satisfied. There is a peace, there is a love, you can get lost inside. Come to the fountain.
put that in some milk.
That would work.
Right?